You know what shits me? Nintendo! And look, you don't need to be a private investigator or a super spy to figure this one out. Switch 2 got announced, and with it comes a whole lot of controversy. Why? Because Nintendo are greedy pricks. And I put it to you that they're not just greedy, they're just evil. No longer are they the Nintendo that cared about you when you couldn't afford your PlayStation or your Xbox or your computer. They've lost touch with who they once were. Now they're greedy, evil, and I say stupid. Because it takes a special kind of moronic villainy to ruin an entire industry for your consumers. Alright, you might think that saying raising a couple price tags ruins an entire industry as a bit extreme. But it's not where we are now, it's where we're going. But let's take a step back. We've danced around the red plumber cash cow long enough. $80 USD. I'm actually Australian, so $109 AUD. This might not look like the biggest price hike out there, to some people at least. I mean, we've paid similar amount of money for AAA games in the past. There's a couple issues for when Nintendo do it. For a little while now, Nintendo have had relatively the cheapest big games. So now that they are raising the prices, other companies, Microsoft and Sony, are paying very close attention to whether they succeed with this or not. And let's be real, they fucking will. And when those prices succeed, the next God of War, the next Call of Duty, the next GTA are all gonna jump in price. I mean, that's not even a guess. We already know that GTA 6 is probably gonna be $100 USD, probably end up being 120 over here. And let me ask you, are you really happy paying more for these games? Are you really happy that gaming is becoming an expensive hobby? Because I don't know if you noticed, the economy nowadays, it's gone down the fucking shitter. And gaming's biggest consumers, millennials and especially Gen Z, they're struggling to buy cars, they'll probably never own houses. And now we have to worry about the fact that we won't be able to afford fucking Donkey Kong! The prices that Nintendo are dishing out here are the types of prices I would expect to pay for like AAA games plus DLC bundles. But you can bet your ass when DLC comes out for these games, you're going to be paying $30 extra for them. That's enough about the price, because that's not the only problem here. The new approach to physical games is quite simply fucking awful. Cartridges no longer hold the code for games anymore. They simply have a code to put into the system that say, yes, you own this game now, you can now download it. Which in my mind almost defeats the purpose of a physical game. Oh, and you're paying extra for this, by the way. You're paying like $10 extra for the physical version over the digital version, even though neither of them give you a legitimate physical copy of the game, and both of them are just downloads from the store that take up space on your Switch. It's bullshit! Part of the reason you would get a physical copy, other than to just have the case, I understand a lot of people like that, but also because it just saves space on your Switch, or anything really. You no longer have to have a game downloaded on your system. You instead have it stored on that cartridge, so you can put it in and play it without having to take up space on your system. But now Nintendo's thrown that out the window and said, nah, you have to download this now and take up all the space on your Switch. And if you use it all up, tough luck, buddy. You're gonna start deleting shit again. It's idiotic. Like, what's the even approach here? Why would they do this? Unless they could like make money out of consumers running out of space and then needing to buy more storage that they price them. Oh, yeah, actually no, that makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, and the codes? That shit's definitely one use. So you can't share your games with friends. Or literally anyone else.
Yeah, the only friend I need is money.
No, really. A business strategy that discourages from sharing with others is not something I've expected from Nintendo. Like really, I can't really understand Nintendo sometimes. A lot of the time I think, oh yeah, Nintendo, family friendly always. But then I remember that they created the parent murdering space pirate, narcissistic, super intelligent, sadistic, genocidal maniac, xenomorph with wings, William Afton, I always come back, practically immortal dragon, Ridley. Just a quick little side tangent. the chat feature on the Nintendo Switch 2. This is literally just Discord for your Nintendo Switch 2 that has worse video quality and worse audio quality. With what we've seen, I find it difficult to believe that the chat feature will be anything of good quality. And don't get me wrong, I do understand the use of it. Things like Discord are free. It's so much more accessible and higher quality. Anyone who has some sort of smart device or a computer can access it. Now, I guess maybe this is for people who don't have those devices, but may I remind you that the Switch 2 is worth 700 smackaroos? Plus, you know, paying for online. It's literally technology that is years behind, packaged as some brand new technology that's worth your money because of its revolutionary advancements. Not at all, not at all. We've had this since, like, I don't know, you ever heard of Skype? It's the same thing, but Skype was probably even better. And if you're still not convinced that Nintendo are stupid dum-dums, they're making you pay for a tech demo. No one better buy that, no one. And next will be the final thing that I'll talk about for now, and isn't directly associated with the Nintendo Switch 2, as it's more just Nintendo as a whole, but it's still just dumb as fucking rocks, man. It is their approach to their own oldest games. Everyone knows Nintendo's stance on emulation. They hate it. They hate it when you emulate their games. You know, the games that they don't sell anymore. They're the games that are essentially lost media if you don't have them already. The type of old games that, if other companies had ownership of them, they'd be still selling them. For a cheaper price, of course. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention with, you know, Mario Kart being $100, is that Nintendo games never go down in price. So if you're waiting for a sale, good luck, buddy. You're never fucking getting it. For a company who loves dollars so much, they are sure fucking morons about making it. A bunch of people are emulating your old games. What does that tell you, Nintendo? Maybe they want to play your games, Nintendo. Why don't you fucking sell them anymore, Nintendo, you dipshits? Instead, they want you to play older games through a subscription fee. And it's a collection of old games that you have no control over. A library of games that they can remove from and add to as they please. And you can't outright buy any of the games either. So if your subscription ends or gets taken away, bye bye! Look, I'm not about to sit here and say that the selection of games aren't good. The selection is pretty good. It's just that we don't get to choose. And also, Xbox's equivalent, Xbox Game Pass, is a vastly superior option. It's admittedly a little more expensive, but the variety you get is much larger. Modern games, even brand new games, as well as some that are a bit older. It's even got the GOAT, my friend Peppa Pig on there. How can you compete? And on Game Pass, games come and go, just like Nintendo, but if you're so distraught about a game leaving Game Pass, you can just buy it. Something you can't do for majority of the old Nintendo games. And because of that, you now have to emulate these games, and Nintendo will hate you for it. Emulation that wouldn't be necessary if they just resold the games? Sure, they'll probably resell it at some asinine price, like, I don't know, $60 for a 20-year-old game, cause, you know, Nintendo. But let's take a holistic look at the Nintendo Switch 2. A high price for a console that is technologically at most the same as new-gen consoles, and at least far less, as it is a handheld after all, so it's going to have less power. High-priced games that will influence the industry forever if they succeed, and let's be real, they will. A price gouge preying on those who are already suffering financially. Physical cartridges that just aren't physical anymore, they're just digitals within a plastic case, and refusal to bring back the games that people like in a way that is acceptable instead of a library that they choose, a chat system that looks worse than Skype, a paid-for tech demo, and likely Joy-Con drift that still remains. If you're already planning to get a Switch 2 with all this in mind, if you've already pre-ordered Nintendo Switch 2, that's fine. I won't hold it against you. I do think we should be boycotting Nintendo, but I know that won't happen. So enjoy what you like. Your choices are your own. But for those who don't want to get the Switch 2, either stick with the Switch 1 or get a fucking Steam Deck. Well, I'm done with Nintendo for now.